Hey everybody, this is Boomy Moore and I'm here to give you a recap of what happened today at the WCT Bootcamp. Now, Mr. McDuffie, Richard, I believe it is, Richard Duffy asked me what went on today at the bootcamp, and I said, okay, well, I'll make a video as soon as I get back. So I have my notes and I just want to go over a couple things with you guys. But today when I was listening to Andre's training, I was like, wow, this is so much of what I shared with my team and students on my coaching call last night when we went over the foundational principles of growing a network marketing business. And so I shared with them that no matter what company you're with, if you learn the skill set of growing a network marketing organization, you can take it to any company that you want to and be successful. So, here were some of the things that Andre brought out today and some of the same things I brought out on the call last night. But his words were, a lot of times you guys are over-presenting. And that's one of the things I talked about last night. I said that, some of you guys are saying like a whole bunch of stuff to a small number of people. But in network marketing, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to say a little bit to a whole lot of people. This is absolutely a numbers game. A lot of you guys are messing it up. You're blah, 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 throwing up all over your prospect, telling them a whole bunch of stuff they're probably not even, interested in, and then wondering why your numbers are less than you really want them to be. So you're saying a whole bunch of stuff to like one person a day or maybe 3 people a week, and those are not winning numbers. I need you to start saying a small amount to a whole bunch of people, to like pick the interest of like 10 people a day, 5 at the minimum if you're part-time, and realize that less is more. The more you talk, the less you make. Write that down. The more you talk, the less you make. So you should let the tools and systems do the work for you. Give out your company CD. Have people to watch the video. Don't you try to do the presenting. That's not duplicatable. Let the tools do the work for you. And then another thing that Andre said that I brought out too last night was that, I'm going to see the exact way that he said it. He said, you got to get to know the person more than the opportunity. And the way I said it was, you should always be connecting. Get involved in your prospects' goals and dreams. I mean, some of you guys are presenting the business in a way and maybe telling them about the opportunity, and they're not interested in the opportunity. Maybe they're a crusader for the product, or maybe if you would have listened and found out that this person's main driver was to be able to retire in 5 years with their spouse and move down south somewhere and just kind of sit back and enjoy life. If you had asked them about their dreams and goals, then you would know how to gear what you're saying towards helping them to get what it is that they want. So remember, you've got to get interested in your prospect, what they want, not what you think that they want. So that's important. So what else was Andre talking about? Ooh, this is really good because this ties into my whole personal development and what I teach with my mindset coaching. So one of the things he did was he asked people, how do you feel when you invite someone to a meeting and they don't show up? So people were saying, I feel disappointed, I feel disgusted, I feel betrayed. So they were saying like all of these negative ways that they felt. So I'm sitting there and I have my answer in my mind. And so Dr. Richardson, who's behind me, who's been in network marketing over 10 years, he said the exact same thing that I was thinking. He said, I don't feel anything. And Andre said, that's it. That's how you're supposed to feel. You don't feel anything. I taught that last night. Don't get emotionally involved in if somebody says yes or if they say no, if they show up or if they don't. My philosophy is I already know the end result. I already know what's going to happen for me in my business. I know the outcome. So whether or not the person I invited shows up, whether or not they show up to the call, guess what? It's all great. It's all good. Move on. Say next. Go to the next person. So, but if you're like feeling frustrated and disappointed and let down, guess what? you're tapping into those negative feelings. Can you get positive from negative? No, you can't. So if you're getting yourself like, oh God, he didn't show up. Here we go again. He said he was going to do it. I can't believe him. It's not a person of his word. I mean, you get into all of that. Guess what? You're just setting up this negative energy and negative vibration around you. Like attracts like. Negative energy gets you what? More negative coming to you. So at the very least, just don't feel anything. They didn't show up. They didn't show up. You go on and do what you need to do next, and that's talk to the next person. And then you ask the same thing. How do you feel when somebody quits your business? You know, you got to realize that attrition happens. Attrition happens in business. I mean, if you feel a certain kind of way for a second, let it be for a second or a couple minutes. Don't stew in it. Because again, you're setting up the wrong vibration, the wrong frequency, and it's not going to get you the results that you want. If they join, great. If they don't join, great. If they quit, great. You keep doing what you're supposed to do to grow your business and just keep that positive end result in mind. All right. Well, what else? Let's see. Did he talk about? I'm just going to jump over to a couple of things real quick. All right. So Andre said, when something small happens in your business, learn to celebrate it. So this will help you to set up a really positive frequency, because a lot of times you're like, oh man, I only sponsored one person this month. You should say, yes, I sponsored one person this month. Get excited about it. The average person in network marketing only recruits less than 3 people in their whole career of network marketing, which typically spans years and years and years and years and years. So if you recruited 3 people in a month, celebrate it. If you recruit just 1 each month, that's awesome. Do you know you're better than average if you're doing that? So learn to celebrate even your small wins, all right? And what that'll do, make you set up a vibration in you that attracts more wins. Awesome. I recruited somebody this month. I did that. Guess what? I can go out and do that again. You know what? I'm better than average. And so learn to do that. Learn to celebrate those wins. And as you grow a team, learn to celebrate the wins of your team as well. Oh, this was good too. Another thing he said, learn to appreciate your check no matter the size. Most of you guys, you get a little $23. Let's see, I said little, but you get a $23 check, and you're like, it's only $23. Guess what? No, that's awesome. It's $23. You need to learn how to celebrate whatever it is that you got and really appreciate that and love the amount you got. If it was just a $10 check, that's $10 more than you had. And then you start visualizing. Visualize some extra zeros behind that 10. See that 10 as 100. See that 100 as 1,000. See that 1,000 as 10,000, and get involved in the good feeling of that. All right, about a minute and a half to go, because I don't want this video to be over 10 minutes. So let's see what else. All right. Learn to be the type of person that looks at the positive first before the negative. So we asked in the room, how many of you, when things happen, you focus more on the negative than the positive? People say, yeah, sometimes I do, but you got to learn to see what I call the glass as half full as opposed to half empty. Learn to see that silver lining behind every cloud instead of being a person who typically looks and sees the negative first. So being positive is so important. And just kind of like to sum it up, one of the big things that the overarching theme of today was really about mindset. And I'm telling you, a lot of you all don't get this, okay? And Andre's been teaching his team this for a long while. So I can do a training for my team that's on mindset, right? And it's like, people are like, okay, they get it. Maybe, kind of. And then next week, I'll do a training on the technical know-how. What to say, how to say it, overcoming objections, how to pique interest. And then they'll be like, oh my gosh, this training was so good. It's awesome. And they're telling all the team members, listen to it. But you got to understand, and Dr. Willie Richardson talked about this today. So if there's a pyramid, here are the 3 types of communication, 3 things that goes into your network marketing business. There's the technical know-how, there's the internal communication, and there's the external communication. So everybody wants that technical know-how. How do I do it? What are the action steps? But the most important thing is that internal communication. What are you saying to yourself? What are you saying to yourself before you pick up that phone and call a prospect? What are you saying to yourself on the way to that one-on-one to present the business? What are you saying to yourself when you're home alone and you're thinking about the results that you're going to be getting in your business? You know, that's so important, that internal communication. And so, you know, Andre always says that there are a lot of people who just don't understand, this is so true, that he sets it up in his mind. And I do the same thing in our mind, what's going to happen before we do it. We have that expectation of the result that we want to see. We have the belief in the knowing that what the result that we want, the outcome, you know, is already done. And so like the week before last Friday, I did a training on money and having the right relationship with your money and the way you have to think about money in order to have it come to you, and how you can't, you know, think lack thoughts and expect to have abundance. There's a whole training on money and the relationship to it and your thoughts and vibrations towards it and all that, and really didn't get any response. Last week it was on technical know-how stuff, and it was like, oh my God, that training was so great. But my point is, you got to get the mindset right. You've got to get all this mental in order to make the technical know-how even work. But a lot of y'all don't believe that. It's all about what happens up in here that's going to determine what you see out there. You know, your mind, how your mind is, really puts your body into action. If your mind's not right, you're not even going to take the right actions. You're not even going to be doing the right technical know-how that's going to get you the results that you want. All right. So anyway, those are some of the things from the boot training today. Of course, it was a whole lot more. We went from like 10 to 3 o'clock. But remember this. The quality of your thinking determines the quality of your life. Dr. Richardson said a little bit differently today. He said the way you are thinking determines the actions that you will take. I always say that the quality of your thinking determines the quality of your life. So remember, guys, think about what you are thinking about, and you can change your whole world. This is Boomy Moore signing off. If you need me with some coaching or anything like that, give me a call at 443-864-9440, and we can talk more about partnering up with me so that you can see a greater level of success.